One teenager is behind bars after a school shooting threat. Plus, the fourth death in Macon this year happened just a few hours ago. And later, updates after dozens were killed in New Zealand.
A Macon thing. This is not just a Middle Georgia thing. This is a nationwide thing.
Tonight, a juvenile suspect was arrested in New York for the school shooting threat received yesterday morning at Mount DeSales Academy. Good evening, I'm Jayla Whitfield. Thank you for joining us tonight. Officials are not releasing the suspect's name due to his age, but he is facing state-level charges in New York.
The gentleman driving the car, unfortunately, he's deceased.
76-year-old Samuel Simmons is dead tonight after a single vehicle fatal traffic accident earlier today. Simmons was driving on I-75 southbound near the Eisenhower exit ramp. His vehicle struck a sign and a tree. Simmons was pronounced dead at the scene. His wife was also in the vehicle during the time of the incident, but she is now in stable condition. New tonight, Macon Bibb fire crews battled a house fire on Crescent Avenue this afternoon. The home is near the intersection of Napier Avenue. The fire was under control when our crews arrived on the scene, but the home had taken a lot of damage and smoke was still rising from a hole in the roof. Investigators tell WGXA that 5 people were inside that home when the fire started, but everyone made it out okay and there were no injuries. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. New tonight, 2 people are dead and 1 is injured after a wreck in Lawrence County. According to Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, a deputy tried to stop a vehicle at a licensed checkpoint. The driver did not stop. That's when deputies chased the vehicle. According to deputies, they performed a PIT, which causes the fleeing car to turn sideways. Sheriff Larry Dean told our team that his sympathy goes out to the families who are struggling with the grief at this moment and in the days ahead. Now the crash remains under investigation by the Georgia State Patrol. And the death of a Macon woman is now under investigation after deputies were called to the Highland Hills apartments earlier this morning for a welfare check. According to deputies, when they arrived, 50-year-old Paula Cunnan was unresponsive. The case is being investigated as a suspicious death until a cause of death can be determined. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office at 478-751-7500. Now we want you to be our eyes in the community. If you'd like to report any breaking news, call our tip line. That number is 478-743-0742, and we'll link you directly to the WGXA newsroom. That number again, 743-0742. Continuing coverage tonight on a missing man out of Cochran. Just 2 days ago, Bleckley County deputies responded to a call about a stranded boater on the Ocmulgee River due to mechanical issues. Bleckley County EMA volunteers were able to find the boat, but not the person that was operating it. WGXA's Brianna Giles was on the scene this morning as crews continued the search to find that man.
Well, the search continues today for a missing Cochran man. He was last seen boating here on the Ocmulgee River behind me. And as you can see, we still got diving crews. Sheriff Cootie says that they've got 6 different agencies out here searching for this man. He says that his crews will not stop until his body is found.
We're doing everything to keep the family at ease and notifying them when we learn something new.
Bleckley County Sheriff Chris Cootie says 6 agencies with more than 40 people from across the state have teamed up to find the body of the missing man.
Georgia State Patrol Aviation, the Department of Natural Resources, Bleckley County EMA, Sheriff's Office, Sumter County Fire Rescue, Houston County Fire and Rescue, the GEMA, we got support from GEMA.
Bleckley County Deputy Director Barry Rowland says this case has left them with many questions because of the missing person's background.
What we've heard is he's very familiar with the river. He's been on the river a lot, and so he's experienced with this because this river is a very tricky river.
Rowland says in the 35 years he's been a volunteer, he's never seen anything like this.
But when something like this happens, the community as a whole comes together.
Along with the 2 cadaver dogs, they've also brought in new technology to point them in the right direction.
As they find images, they notify the divers, and then the divers will go to that location as directed by the Game and Fish.
We've got a little more technology that we brought in today with the DNR's sonar equipment and with the GSP diving team and all that. So it's kind of helped out being able to be more advanced.
Cootie says they will release the name of the man once the body is found. Both Cootie and Rowland say at this point in the case their main goal is to provide closure for the family. In Bleckley County, Brianna Giles, WGXA News.
Well, turning to weather, just a few showers on the radar this afternoon. Let's check in with meteorologist Matt Mackey in the WGXA Weather Center. Matt, you're saying this could be the last rain in quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it comes just in time for the St. Patrick's Day holiday. A run of dry weather that's going to last for probably the next 6-7 days, so some good news if you've got some outdoor plans.
That pollen is crazy, though.
Yeah, we do need a couple showers to go ahead and wash it out, but we'll get through it. Typical springtime stuff here in Middle Georgia. All right, welcome back into the Weather Center, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Mackey on this Saturday evening. I want to start you off with a live look at the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Check it out. A couple cars making their way up and down Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Macon. Aside from that, quiet on the campus of Mercer University, quiet on the campus of GMC in Warner Robins, and also quiet on the campus of GMC in Dublin. For now, they're getting excited for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. So let's dive headfirst into the forecast. Here's where we were today, a high temperature of 57. You might be asking yourself, is temperatures these cold normal? Well, not necessarily. This time last year we were significantly warmer, got all the way up to 74. Our average, what should we be at based on historical data? Right around 70. A large part of why we were so cold, a full 13 degrees cooler than our average, is due to this cloud cover. Check it out. It's been persistent. This is a loop over the past 12 hours. Nothing but cloud cover. A couple showers making their way across our southern counties this afternoon. If we zoom out, we see it's not just us. All of Georgia and most of the Carolinas down through the southern half of Alabama and Mississippi dealing with that persistent cloud cover. Now, it's not all bad. The clouds will stick around through this evening and they will play a large part in keeping us relatively mild. Instead of getting on down close to freezing, as we will many times this coming week, we will only get down into the low 40s. The cloud cover kind of acts like a blanket. It traps the heat closer to the ground. That's some good news, and it's good news for your St. Patrick's Day festivities. We're waking up tomorrow not necessarily super cold, and then we'll get more and more sunshine as the day goes through. You can put the umbrellas away because that sunshine sticks around throughout the next week. We'll break it down for you in our full 10-day forecast, but there's also some cold nights coming up ahead. We'll have that full forecast in just a few minutes.
There's no word to describe this act of terror.
One World Trade Center's 408-foot spear is lit in blue and red at the direction of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, in unity with the people of New Zealand and the Muslim community following yesterday's attack. New Zealand is still in shock that 49 lives were lost to terror in the Christchurch mosque shooting. The suspected attacker made his first appearance in court. 28-year-old Brenton Tarrant is charged with murder. We're learning he emailed his manifesto to the Prime Minister's office minutes before the attack. It's filled with anti-Muslim language and white supremacist ideas. CNN spoke with survivors. Here's their stories.
In the massacre at Linwood Mosque in Christchurch, where 7 Muslims were killed, Ahmed Khan narrowly saved his own life.
The guy shot at me, but I dodged down, so he missed me. And then I ran back to the mosque and tell everyone to go to the ground because there's someone with a gun who's going to shoot everyone. And then everyone went to the ground and then he started shooting through the windows.
Inside, Khan found a friend bleeding.
And I knew he got shot on the right arm, so I went there and hold him and tell him he was asking for some water. I said to him, calm down, the police is here now and stuff. I was just because, and then the gunman come through the window again and shot him when I was holding him on the head, and he was dead.
Khan came to New Zealand 12 years ago seeking safety, a refugee from Kabul, Afghanistan. His Afghan uncle among those killed in the gunfire on New Zealand's darkest day at a second mosque just minutes away. Khalid al-Shadoki was inside Al-Nur Mosque when the bullets began flying there.
Some of my friends died yesterday, some of them this morning, and one of my friends is still in the hospital because he got one shot in his leg.
Al-Shadoki, a PhD candidate from Saudi Arabia, says he recently told his Saudi friends he thought New Zealand was the safest place on earth. To him, it was.
I saw the bullets on the wall. The man came inside and we couldn't do anything. Just I looked. I was sitting next to the window. I smashed the window and escaped from the window, and many people ran after me and with me, and we went to the backyard.
Sue Harrison heard the shots ring out across the yard.
We got in the stairwell and, sort of hunkering down with panic feeling in our hearts, just describing the sound.
Finally, there was silence.
After the gunshots had stopped for, a few minutes, we peeked out the window and we could see people in the backyard of the mosque sort of milling around. And, they were upright, they weren't running, they weren't panicking, they were just sort of walking around. There was wailing going on.
Harrison hasn't been allowed back to the apartment. The area around the mosque is still a crime scene. It's where 41 people who couldn't get out died inside. Alexandra Field, CNN, Christchurch, New Zealand.
After no answers, multiple arrests have been made in the search for 3 missing people. Coming up next on WGXA News at 10.